Hi, thanks a lot for joining this session. I'm Michael. I'm from Tencent Cloud Security team. So today's topic is how we're going to secure the digital future with Tencent Cloud edgeone. Right. First of all, right, what is the digital future? Right. The first thing coming into your mind is definitely these three, like Web3, FinTech, DeFi, and also the metaverse. But what exactly is Web3? Right. As of now, I think the basic understanding of the Web3 application is the front end of it, right, is always a Web2 app, right, that is used for example, UI that allow the user, right, to interact with the core and functions that is running on top of a blockchain networks, which is immutable, permissionless, and most importantly, decentralized, right? So in terms of the front end of the Web3 application and how we're going to secure them, right, that we know that the existing security suite, right, of the Web2 application that is still applicable, like those like edge-related security, the WAF, the anti-DDoS, and also the bot protection. Talking about the back end of the Web3 application, then you know that, for example, from the code level, we have to make sure it's highly secure, so that we need to do VMPT, right, vulnerability scanning, and also the penetration testing. And also, right, as you know that the Solidity is one of the most popular programming languages that is to write the smart contract, right? The smart contract is the application that is running on top of a decentralized blockchain networks. So that, Tencent offer that those like Solidity code assessment tool that allow you to find out those like vulnerabilities and also the loopholes inside your, for example, the code base. And also, right, did you know that the blockchain application or the Web3 application is highly decentralized? For example, the Ethereum, right, that requires or the Ethereum computing nodes that is spanning across all those like public cloud and also the private cloud. So for the node level, you have to make sure that it's highly secure. And also, right, you have to make sure the data, right, regardless its state, right, data at rest, if it's in motion, it's being like secured from end to end. It has to be encrypted. And also, please practice the DR and also the backup, right? Just in case the ransomware strikes. Talking about the fintech and DeFi, right? So the fintech is, right, we're making all those financial activities digitized, like online trading, online payment, right, digital wallet, e-wallet, etc. Right, that is still requiring central authority, right, to approve all those transactions from user to user. However, right, DeFi is decentralized finance, right? That we're making all those like financial activities decentralized, running on top of decentralized blockchain networks, right? For example, that we can make those like loan, lease, borrow, and lending, the kind of financial activities much easier and much more efficient. So, in terms of these two, right? When we take a first look of it, they see that they are sitting on opposite sides. However, they still have the commonality of it as of now, which is they still require a payment gateway that allow the user to transfer their real money from their real bank account to those like e-wallet, digital wallet, online trading platforms, or blockchain networks, right? So in that case, as of now, right, so all those like payment gateway that has a payment risk control engine built in. So Tencent, right, Tencent is one of the largest fintech players in the world, right? Internally or externally, we have our WeChat Pay that has a payment risk control engine built in, and also in terms of the gaming related, right, in-game purchase, that kind of use cases, we have our Midas payment gateway that also have the same payment risk control engine built in. So this particular payment risk control engine that is being used by billions of people from WeChat, and also all those have very popular games like League of Legends, like PUBG Mobile, etc. for those like in-game purchase, that kind of use cases. Like a few years ago, like we thought to like externalize it, like commercialize it, productize it, and make it available for our valuable public cloud users in the format of a SaaS, right? So the user can very simply integrate that, for example, via the REST API, by the internet link, as long as it support the HTTP protocol, and query our cloud-based API, and going to process it through, for example, the AI machine learning engine, and also the big data analyst platform on the cloud, to detect all those like fraudulent and also the chargeback or potential chargeback cases. And then for those particular transaction of high risk, they're going to come back with a verdict, right, telling a user that please send this particular transaction for like multi-factor authentication, or just simply block that. Right? So this is how it works. And in terms of the metaverse, right, now we are still at the very initial stage of the metaverse. Facebook or Meta, right, just come out a few prototypes of the metaverse. They say that the front end of it could be like AR, VR, or web app, and the back end of it is the gaming, right? In the old days, right, games is just for kids, right? Games is for the gamer. And nowadays, games, or in the future, right, games supposed to be for everyone, right? So everyone should create its virtual avatar, right? Virtual identities in the metaverse world, right? So in terms of the gaming related security, right, Tencent can offer the most comprehensive, because Tencent is one of the largest, right, gaming publisher, investor, and also the developer in the world. And in terms of the gaming related security that we can offer, for example, the anti-cheat, right, the game app performance analytics, like compatibility testing service, and etc. And also for the mobile app that runs the gaming app, right, that we can do for example, gaming app hardening, right. Basically, it's for the anti-reverse engineering, and underlying techniques that we use is the code obfuscation. And also we understand that nowadays, right, many gamers like to do the live streaming, right? So that we had to make sure that no malicious content like pornography is being posted, right? So that we also commercialize one of our like content risk control engine, and make it available for our public cloud users in the format of a SaaS. Similarly, right, the user can just simply query with their content to our like SaaS-based, cloud-based REST API, and then we're going to come back with a verdict, right, telling them that whether you should block this or not. So enough for the futuristic stuff. Let's take a look at those like the website or the Web2 application that we deal with on a daily basis as now, right? So we still have all those like cloud application or hybrid application that are spanning across like public cloud and private cloud currently, that we need a solution, right, to secure them. So Tencent, right, has its own like cloud-based edge security solution, which is called a Tencent Cloud Edgeone. So the key takeaway for this slide is, what is edgeone, right? So basically, that has the global footprint to serve the content nearest to the user, and also it offers a single pane of glass of management for CDN and security, right? So basically, when people ask you, hey, what is edgeone, right, it's just simply the combination of a CDN and security. So basically, it comes with the full suite of the CDN function, like DNS, the internet acceleration. So we bring the internet acceleration to a whole new level, right? We basically build overlay networks across our CDN nodes. So for example, from Singapore to Los Angeles, when the user want to access a server from Singapore, right, to Los Angeles, right? So the TCP can be literally terminated locally, right? So that they save sort of the round trip latency when you do the like TCP handshake for the TCP connection establishment. Because, I mean, between the Singapore and Los Angeles CDN nodes, we've already built always-on tunnel, right, in between, so that the user can save the latency by more than 80%, right? That is the reduction from 500 milliseconds in total for the two-way handshake to 70 to 80 seconds, the kind of two-way handshake latency. And also, of course, the caching is one of the feature from the CDN, and also we do the global-based load balancing, right? So they can do the geo-based and also the location-based and also the weightage-based, the kind of load sharing. Basically, that's ideal to like secure your website, the cloud app, and also the hybrid app. And it comes with all those like security solutions like the encryption, the DDoS mitigations, the bot mitigation, and also the WAF. And also, we give back all those like visibilities in terms of the security, DNS, and the CDN. We leverage the AI and machine learning for the protection and analytics. So basically, this particular platform, of course, is for internal consumption. All Tencent-related service that you heard of actually is running on this particular edgeone platform. And the most recent one in September, that Tencent launched a game that is called Tower of Fantasy, that's being top 1 in 36 countries in terms of the downloading from the App Store and also the Google Play Store. That is also running on top of the edgeone in 36 countries. And also some of the largest short form video platform is actually using this particular platform in several countries for the CDN, right? And in terms of the country coverage or the region or locations of the H1 node, we keep expanding. Of course, China is our playground. We have the most comprehensive coverage in China, and also we take care of the traffic that is going in and outside of China. We offer different kind of solutions to serve different needs, and also we have the coverage in most countries in APAC, EMEA, and also North and South America. And how it works, right? If you're familiar with the CDN, then you probably know that first of all, we had to do the DNS lookup, and then we're going to serve the content nearest to the user for the static content or the caching. And in the meanwhile, we're going to perform the security inspection. And for those like dynamic content or dynamic queries, we're going to stream directly back to the origin sites. And for the CDN feature set, right, it's pretty straightforward. But we do the last mile optimizations, make sure that the content is served nearest to the user. We support the transport of different types, like TLS 1.2, TLS 1.2, 3, like HTTP2, HTTP3, different types of compression protocols. And also, we allow you to do the like CDN rule customizations, really fine grained. And also, we have serverless function that's available from our Edge node, right? So that you can craft out your own functions via the JavaScript. And also, we support a global load balancer that is ideal for those like hybrid app, the kind of use cases. And also, we do the middle mile optimization, right? As I mentioned earlier, right? So, for example, from Singapore to Los Angeles, we already built an overlay networks, overlay tunnel that is always on. And in between these two nodes, right? For example, we even optimize the industry standard protocol TCP into a protocol that is called a QTCP, right? So, for example, we optimize the TCP congestion windows and etc., right? So that we can make sure all those like packets being sent and received in a more efficient way. And also, of course, we are constantly monitoring the round trip latency, packet loss, and also the jitter between two CDN nodes for the middle mile, right? So that the dynamic path selections, right, could be done when one link is having an issue. And in terms of the security feature set, right, of course, we do the DNS security, right, DNSSEC, or chain of the security, trust or chain of trust, and also the DDoS protection, right? So in terms of DDoS protection, we can offer the courier grade, the terabyte grade, the kind of a scrubbing capacity in different locations. TLS, SSL, of course, the bot mitigations, and also the web protection, right? To protect against those like OWASP top 10 like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, remote code executions, etc. And in terms of the DDoS protection, several highlights over here. They will know that they will be combating the DDoS attacks, right? Since I think .com bubble, right? When Tencent.com was first established, right? At that time, that we've been dealing with all those like web attacks already, right? So we've been basically fighting against them for more than 20 years, so that internally we have some like patented algorithm, right, to mitigate those very complicated DDoS attacks. Of course, when the attack or the mixed traffic coming in, right, basically consists of the attack traffic and also the clean traffic. So we have to do the traffic differentiation, right, to find out, okay, where's the malicious traffic, where's the benign traffic, and we're going to leverage the AI and machine learning, right, for the detection and also the mitigation. In terms of the mitigation, right, we have a few like industry unique features like user traffic labeling by allowing you to integrate with our anti-DDoS SDK into your application. So all the traffic being sent out will be labeled, and our anti-DDoS engine or scrubbing center is going to accept those traffic being labeled, so we can increase the efficacy to 100%. And also, we're leveraging the big data analytics platform to identify those malicious traffic at the very early stage of the attack, right? Because we leverage the feature that's called watermarking, right, to identify them. And in terms of the attack suppression, we leverage the technology that is called the anycast, so that we can suppress the attack traffic nearest to the attack sources. So the attack traffic won't consume our edge-one backbone. And in terms of the WAR protection, right, and also the bot mitigation, so we are not just leveraging those like syntax or semantic based, but also the AI machine learning for the static and dynamic analysis, right, and also different type of the machine learning like supervised learning and supervised learning to find those outliers, and also the reinforcement learning to constantly improve the efficacy of it, and also we leverage those like reinforcement learning and also unsupervised learning, try our best, right, to detect those as zero-day attacks. No 100% guarantee, but it's a relatively high efficacy, I think. And in terms of the bot mitigation, right, we also leverage all those techniques like AI machine learning, the pattern-based static dynamic analysis, right, to find out those like malicious on like crawlers, reapers. And also in terms of the ranking, right, we've been ranked as a top one by Forest Wave in terms of the bot mitigation in domestic China. And in terms of the monitoring and visibilities, of course, we give back all those like CDN or the security related metrics before and after. They can see the performance boosts. And also we give back all those like real-time notifications and also a designated DDoS and also the CDN service team. So basically, they know that, all those CDN provider offers a 24/7 the kind of SLA based on the package you subscribe. But we take 24/7 support to a whole new level that you can't imagine, that we even have our developer being standby 24/7 just in case you need some of the minor customization in terms of the feature, right? And so this is one of the case study of ours. So most recent case, the client's been with us for a month, and they find out actually most of the traffic is considered attack traffic, and their current CDN provider or the previous CDN provider is charging them on that. So after they onboard with Tencent Cloud H1, they can find out actually 50% of the traffic, right, shouldn't be charged, right? This amount of traffic should be waived. So after they onboard with us, right, so it's to them it's more than 50% a kind of a cost saving. And in terms of how we deal with those like malicious bots, malicious traffic, right? Basically, sometimes we send them those like JavaScript challenge. So basically, we're going to insert the JavaScript, right, in terms of the HTTP response message. And if the browser is able to execute that, then we think that, hey, they passed the challenge and we are going to allow the traffic to pass. If not, they're going to block them. Otherwise, we sometimes send them, for example, the managed challenge, right? Like capture is part of them, and Tencent is using the slider puzzle, right? So if it's a human that is able to like pass the slider puzzle, and then we're going to allow the traffic to pass. Otherwise, they're going to block it, right? So we have different mechanisms, right, in order to challenge those bots and also find out those malicious traffic. And last but not least, if you're interested, right, please remember to talk to our account manager to start your 1 month free trial with H1. And thank you very